Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches and are the top-selling childcare business book authors of all time. This episode is sponsored by Childcare Genius Marketing. Let Childcare Genius Marketing help you get fully enrolled and fully staffed. Visit childcaregenius.com for more details. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast our hosts, Brian and Carol Duprey.
Hello, welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Duprey, here with a special guest today. I want to welcome Faith Yocum to the podcast. Hi, Faith. How are you?
Hey, Brian. It's always good to be on your podcast. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, awesome. So we got a couple topics we're going to cover today, and we have a really amazing big announcement that we're going to tease everybody with that we're going to announce at the end of the podcast. So they got to stay on until the end to hear the major, cool, big announcement. But let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the country today. So you're one of our coaches. You've been on a coaching team for a while now, and I know I coached you personally for quite a while, so I know how amazing you are, and you're a multi-center owner in New York. So we're coaching a lot of clients, and the people that are coaching, what are they struggling with the most right now, Faith?
So I am seeing a trend in 2 big areas right now. Operations, right? A lot of owners, the information is in their head, or they have key people on their admin team. The information is in their head, right? But that's not a system. They're just getting through every day. And that leaves them at risk. So working with them to improve their systems, not only to get it out of the heads of the people who have the knowledge, but to create systems so that anybody can do it the same way, no matter who does it, right? And that supersedes any employment of any one person or the health even of the owner, right? It's going to provide consistent quality, program improvements, things like that. So a lot of system-based issues for just the operation of the business itself. And then the other thing currently is enrollment, right? Finding clients, understanding what's going on in each of the markets, because markets change in every industry, right? Nothing that we do is really just inherent to childcare. It's just business. So trying to find clients when the demographics in some areas are changing, right? Some places you're seeing a decline in population, and that changes the demographics. You're seeing changes in just in other industries around them, right? And the job markets, which also then changes their ability, the pool of clients that are available to them. If families aren't working, they don't need childcare, right? So they don't have a need for the services being offered. And some areas, people are struggling, businesses are struggling to get clients just because they're not marketing, right? They're not marketing to their specialty. They're not finding their ideal clientele, right? They just don't know where to look. Everything used to be word of mouth, and that's just not the way it is anymore in the digital age. So helping them identify where their client base is and how to get those clients and how to, have a leg up over their competition.
Outstanding. Yeah, we're seeing that. I'm seeing that with my coaching clients as well, a lot of those things. And the country has changing, people are shifting. There's a lot of movement. Certain states are losing people and certain states are gaining people. And so that affects childcare. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of young people with children, getting up and leaving a couple certain states and going and bringing their children to another state, which is creating childcare issues in some states where there's not enough care, and in certain states, people are struggling for enrollment. And this happens, over time, population shift. It's been happening since the gold rush, in this country. Every so often, market shift, industries change. It used to be, in Maine here, it was paper mills. They employed a lot of people, and now you can't even find a paper mill here. They've moved down to the southern part of the country. So it's just things are always going to change over time, and we have to adapt as business owners and realize that we have to do things better than the competition. Because right now, when you're struggling for enrollment, you have to outlast the guy down the road. And when, if that person doesn't make it, then you get their kids and you get their staff. So that's just survival of the fittest when it gets to be that kind of point, sort of like a recession.
Yep.
So that's what we've been helping clients through anyway. So we have our conference coming up. Why don't we talk about our conference, Faith? Because you're going to be one of the headline speakers
Oh, yeah.
there. So we're going to the Dominican Republic for our Child Care Genius Leverage Conference, September 28th to October 1st. Going to be amazing. Tell us about, I remember your very first conference. I could picture you on the beach with your husband, Brian, and getting to meet you and get in person because I'd coached you for a while at that point. And what was your first leverage conference like?
Oh, I loved it. There's a lot to be said about not only going to a conference and getting the knowledge, right? Like learning all of the things you didn't even know that you didn't know, to improve the operations of your business and the financial stability, which was what I was looking for when I went to my first one. But, anytime you're in an industry, you always feel like you're the only one, right? When you have children, right? Your friends have children, your family have children. There's a pool of people that you can pull from, and you don't feel like you're the only parent on the planet. But when you're a business owner, like think about childcare, right? You're in childcare, you feel like you're the only one with the struggles that you have. Your friends don't have childcare centers, right? Your sister doesn't have a childcare center. You need to be able to have um, people in your lives and just contacts that understand what you're going through and can help you through those times and know what to do and help you avoid the pitfalls that they already did. And so that was one of the things that I got from my first leverage conference with Childcare Genius, was getting to meet other childcare center owners who were going through similar situations. You don't feel like you're on an island when you have a group of peers, right? To meet and to talk to and to bounce ideas off of, and to just know you're not going through it alone. And all of the things that you're dealing with, it's not because you don't know how to operate a business. Those are industry issues, right? But it can feel like they're just your issues. So that was probably the most impactful thing to me when I met. And in addition to all of the content, the way the conference is run, it's meant for that to happen, right? For people to meet each other and to kind of build that tribe of other owners, to, to share and commiserate with on some days, but also to excel with.
Right. So how'd you like the format, getting done at 1 o'clock every day and having time
Right.
to chill? Like, is there any other conference in the world like this?
That's the best. And we do content for the first half of the day, have some lunch, maybe grab a cocktail if that's what you like, and then everybody gets together for what we dub as poolside coaching. But it's not just coaching from all of us coaches who are there, but again, that's where you get that opportunity to meet other people in the industry and build those relationships and make friends and have that greater support network. And I think that's unique to the Leverage Conference.
Yeah,
Absolutely, we
for
build
sure.
that into it. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want a tax deductible working vacation, and have a little bit of sun time, pool time, hangout time in an all-inclusive resort where you don't have to pay a penny for your food, your drinks, everything's included. Come to the Iberostar Dominican Republic with us. Go to chalkcaregenius.com right now. Go to the conference tab and find the Leverage Conference and look for the information about it. We've got a whole details. We have our agenda. Tickets are on the sale for the best possible price today. So go there right now, grab your tickets to that. I will be there. Carol's going to be there with me. Faith will be there, and all of our coaches are going to be there. We're going to have 4 incredible days of training, fun, sun, meet and greets. We got a lot of cool things. And if you want to go on excursion and see the Dominican Republic, it is a beautiful island. I was there a few weeks ago, and it's just absolutely amazing. It was my favorite resort I've ever been to in the
Oh,
Iberostar brand. We use the Iberostar brand in all of our conferences, and it was phenomenal. So look forward to seeing you again, September 28th this year to October 1st, Monday through Thursday. And if you have any questions, just shoot us an email, Brian at childcaregenius.com, Brian at childcaregenius.com. So we're ready for our big reveal, Faith. So this is exciting. We've been doing the Child Care Genius podcast. We just hit our 4 year anniversary. I can't believe I've been recording the Child Care Genius podcast for 4 years. We're almost
a lot of topics.
300 episodes in. Absolutely mind-blowing to me, that to have almost 300 episodes. So we're excited about that. And we started 2 years ago, we started a Friday podcast as well. So we realized that people wanted, yeah, they want to hear from guests, but they also want to get some training. They want to come in and get a short training. So we started the training series on Fridays, and that was just a 5 to 10 minute quick hit you with a training topic and give you a little bit of juice to go into the weekend and learn something, right? Because you want to be able to learn something on a podcast. You're taking your time. So the big announcement is starting this Friday. Faith's going to be the one taking over that. You've been looking at my mug for 4 years, and Faith's going to take over the Friday podcast training series and give you a new topic each week, give you 5 to 10 minutes worth of content, and much better looking than having to look at me. So Faith, talk about the podcast you're going to be doing on Friday.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about doing the podcast because, training, we all bring in a lot of content, right? But to actually have some tactical training, things that you can take away and implement in your center to make improvement, that's my goal for Fridays. We do that with our members now, right? On Thursdays, I run a training and implementation cohort every Thursday, but to be able to do that in the podcast for the childcare industry owners who are not in our membership, right, to give them some of those tools. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I know you're going to do amazing. So look for it this Friday. You're going to be getting promo emails if you're on our email marketing list.
Yep.
Go to our website at childcaregenius.com. There's a podcast tab. You could get all the previous episodes. But Faith will be in there. And if you have an idea for a show that you'd like her to train on, send her an email directly, Faith, Faith, Faith at childcaregenius.com. And she will do a 5 to 10 minute training on whatever topic. We'd love audience suggestions. Carol and I get a lot of questions on our podcast. So if you have a question you'd like answered on the Tuesday podcast, Carol and I do once a month, we do Ask Brian and Carol, and we read podcast questions that audience does over the air. So the first podcast of each month is the ABC Ask Brian and Carol, where we do those questions. So feel free to send one to me, Brian at childcaregenius.com, and we'll answer that question on Friday. Or no, Tuesdays rather. And then Friday, Faith will be handling her podcast. So I'm so excited, Faith. I love listening to you. You're a great coach. And if you have any struggles on the podcast, I'll be happy to step in and help you out. But I know you're going to be just fine. And any final words? Any words of advice why should people tune in?
Because we don't know what we don't know, right? Until we learn what we know. And even if your business is not struggling and you think everything's going great, we coach on that as well, right? When things are smooth, that is the perfect time to advance your business and work on those really, really big goals that you have. So we're going to coach and train on not only just survival for those who are struggling, but how to then, continue to grow your dynasty beyond that. So you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And every successful business person has a coach and continues to get professional development and training and knowledge. So I would encourage everyone to do the same. And our podcast just happens to be a great place to do that.
Awesome. Well, again, this concludes this episode of Child Care Genius Podcast. Look forward to this Friday. Faith will be debuting her Friday podcast. And also, don't forget to pick up your tickets to the Child Care Genius Leverage Conference at childcaregenius.com under the conference tab. And we will see you, Carol and I will see you next week for another episode on Tuesday. And Faith will see you this Friday for her new Child Care Genius podcast episode. And we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for joining today. Have a good day.
I look forward to it.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Childcare Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.